back. And if you're joining us now, we're just getting our second conversation started. We are continuing our Meet the Mayoral Candidates segment. And joining us right now, we have the People's United Party's candidate, mayoral candidate for Corozal Town, Rigoberto Vellos, and who is also the current mayor of Corozal Town. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much for having me this morning at Open Your Eyes, and good morning to all the viewers also in the whole country of Belize, especially my beautiful Corozalians.
Right. And thank you very much for joining us this morning. We appreciate the time. Now, of course, since you are the incumbent mayor and are known for other things to some of our viewers, perhaps you can start off by giving us a little bit of an overview of who you are, especially for some of the viewers who may not be familiar with you and your work countrywide.
Yes, actually, I'm sure the majority of Belizeans know who Rigoberto is. I'm originally born here in Corozal Town. I was raised on 4th Avenue, which is right at the beginning of the Altamira area. Everyone in that area knows me as the guy that used to go around and sell bread for my grandmother, being that I was raised for a short while by my grandmother. I am very well known to the neighborhood. Then I moved to Belize City with my mom, where I studied as a business major. Then I started doing sports, and that's where everyone started to know me through bodybuilding. I'm a 5-time Mr. Belize. I also have represented our beautiful country, Belize, in many international bodybuilding competitions in Central America, in Mexico, and even the famous Arnold Classic. I've been there twice. Actually, I was one of the first Belizeans to represent Belize in the Arnold Classic, which is the second biggest and most famous bodybuilding competition in the whole world. So apart from that, I've been a motivational speaker for the different schools. I used to play also other sports, football, basketball, volleyball. So I'm very well known to be very active within my community, encouraging the young people, working together with the young people through my gym that I own here in Corozal, Spartan Gym. So as you all know, I'm a very well-known guy for very good things.
Yeah. And wrapping up your first term as Corozal mayor. Now, Rigo, the difference, I think, and I wanted to say that, this is an opportunity for viewers across the country to know the mayoral candidates, but especially for people in your town. Now, coming in as the incumbent means that the accountability is more immediate. People would have seen the work that you've done or the work that they think you didn't do during the course of your term and use that as a measuring stick for how they will make their decision come March 3rd. How has the campaign trail been? And what are some of the things that you're hearing from residents, both the good and the bad?
Sure, Marlene. No one is perfect when they're trying to work for the public, no? But I can tell you, Marlene, that we have been received pretty well. People are, happy that there was a change of government. They were waiting for that, and people are saying that they have been going into this process since 2018, when the change at UDP Town Council to a P.U.P Town Council and now a P.U.P central government, which is very important for us as a town council in Corozal Town. People also have told us that, they understand the situation where we were under a central government first for close to 3 years, where we had absolutely no support. And now they know that they will give us this chance again so that we can work with a better government. People also have been complaining about one thing, which is the infrastructure. But people also understand again that we had our hands very tied for close to 3 years. No, so people now are expecting even greater things coming for the next 3 years.
And despite some of those difficulties that you described just now, what are some of the major accomplishments that you can look back on and tell voters that you pulled through or you came through with, that you are very proud that you and your town council has accomplished so far?
Actually, when we started in 2018, we found different problems within the town council under the past mayor, no, that was in there for 12 years from 2006 to 2018, and even most of it, he was under his own central government, a UDP central government. The town council was in a financial mess. We found deficit in budget of over $680,000. We had to find a way to deal with that deficit. We inherited unpaid bills to private companies, which were over $90,000. We inherited a large staff that needed to go on retirement. So that was an extra expense that we inherited from the past government. We also inherited a humongous bloated contract that they had with their Kone Ime Hernandez. No, and that contract was for $1.3 million that the Corozaleños would have to pay for the next 10 years. Annually, we used to pay over $130,000, meaning that January, February, March, the town council would have not gotten its subvention. And we all know that we depend a lot on our subvention to be able to have revenues to accomplish our goals. We also had to pay Ime Hernandez between April and December close to $5,000 every single month, and that hurt the financial situation at the Corozal Town Council, and that's what we inherited. And we had to find our ways how to grow out of that. The investment we had to do was very limited because of that. Our basic jobs that we had to do were limited, and we had to find ways to outgrow that. We had to find ideas how to manage and be able to get our things together within the town council. We had to find our ways how to build capacity, because when we got there was absolutely nothing. There was no garbage trucks actually working to its capacity. We had to go and find ways by connecting with the international people like the Japan embassy and the government, the Japan government, and they assisted us with 2 new garbage trucks. We had to go and buy our own riding mower because the past mayor left our riding mower that was not working. Actually, when we got there, the only thing we found was 2 machete and 1 rake. That's it. The past mayor had bought a generator, and we found invoices. We found that they paid him back for buying a generator. And when we got there was absolutely no generator. So we had to start from scratch. Yeah. It's not like we inherited anything that the people own at the Corozal Town Council. So for them, it was all about, spending. And I believe they knew at the time that they were going out, so they made sure that they did not leave anything for us to carry on our operations. So it was very, very hard at the beginning, Marlene. But we made huge strides. Even though we had to start over, we made huge strides. And we made that because we were committed, we were responsible. We kept our word to our Corozaleños that we will try our best. We did not sit and said, this is too hard and we won't do it. We know the people elected us to do a better job than what they had there, and that's exactly what we went out there and did.
Yeah. And that's often I think a part of the challenge when there is a change in administration, because people put you there to work, and then you have to go in and assess what exists before you can even start to do any work.
Right.
And you will be measured over what your outputs are, not how much over what you do internally.
Right.
So let's talk about some of the things that you have been able to accomplish in the past 3 years, because in the previous conversations, and I think in general, we all recognize that Corozal town it has such untapped potential. But the challenges there are numerous. You know, you're so close to Mexico. A lot of your workers go out to the tourist destinations to be able to work. So, you know, you're not without your challenges. So let's talk about what you have been able to do.
Well, Marlene and Mr. Gavin, you know, I must tell you that one, we met a town council that used to owe social security. We no longer owe social security. We managed to renegotiate the Emer Hernandez contract on behalf of the Corozalinos. So we now have breathing room. We have a little extra to be able to carry on our jobs. We also paid a huge part of the debt that the town council had owed back in 2018 to the past administration. For the first time, CTC owns its own machinery, which is a John Deere grader, a case roller, and that will help us to build capacity to be a bit more independent. We also, we got international support. We got 2 new garbage truck, an open back truck and a compactor truck. Thanks to the Japan government, we got, apart from that, we got other new equipments, which cost us $14,000, which is a generator, a riding mower, some weed eaters, and other equipment. We can see that we have a beautiful Corozal sign out there by the wharf where we have Thunderbolt and the new water taxi. Now, we have trying our best to boost the tourism. Look at the water park that has been there stagnant thanks to the past administration. It shows that we have vision, we have new ideas to bring to Corozal to grow the tourism wise. Also, we have done our job when it comes to infrastructure by making sure that we give the right maintenance to the streets. Like I said, it was a bit hard because we did not have that financial support from central government, but we know our duty is to still do the maintenance. So we have accomplished a lot of different things. When we got to the Corozal Town Council in 2018, Marlene and Gavin, I can tell you that not a single worker had a job description. So it's from there that we started. We had to deal internally first so that our jobs outside can be more effective and efficient. You know, so we have accomplished a lot of different things, Marlene and Gavin.
Yeah.
And you know, you briefly mentioned just now talking about a bit about your vision. You mentioned tourism as one of the areas that you want to expand. But perhaps you can go into a bit more detail and tell us about what it is you and your slate hope to accomplish and where you see the you know, Corozal Town's potential.
Yes, definitely. Tourism is definitely one of the major platforms apart from dealing with the infrastructure. Tourism-wise, Corozal has its own tools, its own natural tools. And we need to take advantage of that and invest in it very smartly and wisely, because we also have to protect our beauty that we have in Corozal. I mentioned the water park. That's a new idea. It shows that investors also, they believe in Corozal Town. Soon we will have a mall in Corozal Town. Again, it shows that the business community also believes in Corozal Town. I know that a bank is coming to Corozal also. And all these things, what they do is create job opportunities, which is what we need in Corozal to bring back economic life, you know, because that is one of the major problems here. The economy-wise, it's very low. I can tell you that the business community has been working hand in hand together with us since 2018. That is the reason why we have been able to carry on a lot of different small projects within our community. We want to make sure that we work very close together with the central government, now which is a P.U.P central government. And if you ask the question, why work so close together with the central government? Why it is important for us to work close together with central government? because we need to make sure that we have a growth and encouragement from them through private sector growth.
Yeah.
Look at the opportunity with the water park, right? That is a very, very, very good opportunity for our Corozaleños. We have a brand new boat shuttle in Corozal, again, towards tourism, and that they have also committed themselves that soon they will start tours. We will start to have different packages. We have the Santa Rita Mayoral, we have Cerros Mayoral, we have our own culture, our food, that different tourists would surely come and spend time in Corozal to learn and know about our own culture.
Yeah. Let me just jump in here, because you mentioned something, and I think it's a critical point. You talked about how you hope to be reelected because you look forward to working under a central government of your same party. But we know the realities of what we're seeing. Financially, there is no leeway or no extras, I should say, in terms of any kind of overwhelming support. I want to ask, when you look at the current situation in Corozal, you talk about your relationship with business owners. I'm sure that what they will report is what we've been hearing across the country, that things are really challenging. People don't have the kind of capital to spend on just about anything. So when you look forward, if you're elected for another term, what are going to be some of your suggestions as to how to get your revenue flow, knowing that business is not doing well in across the country?
Marlene, first of all, I must say that government should never be an obstacle for any town council. At no point. Any government should be working hand in hand together with all town councils, no matter what party the town council or no matter what central government is in place. But this is where I believe that we started something that Corozal never had, being independent. That is the reason why we decided to buy a grader, a roller. We're going towards building our capacity now, finding our way to be independent when it comes to infrastructure. We can fix our own roads, we can grade our own roads. We don't have to depend on central government to make time to be spending extra finance and using resources to come to Corozal to do it for us. That is what the past administration never thought about or never had in place. We have to be very smart and innovative now, come with new ideas on how to create job opportunities so that it helps and it gives life to our economy here in Corozal. Again, the water park is a way. And but it shows that the business community knows that Corozal has very great potential, and this is why they're heading now into Corozal in investing their finances. So we need an independent town council that can think and act on its own. We need responsibility, again, something that the past administration did not have. I can tell you off the bat that whoever is running for UDP mayoral candidate, he was part of the revenue department before 2018, and even when I was there, and he was part of all the corruption with the different finances that went missing, the overspending that the past mayor did. He was part of, he left the Corozal Town Council to go into a hotbed corruption ministry, which is a the lands department ministry, where we all know even their own leader had accepted that natural resources was one of the most corrupted section, and he was part of that also with the minister then. So why would we want to put someone that has already shown us that there is no responsibility, there is no management, there is no commitment, doesn't know and will never know what it is to give support to our community financially, in the sense of making sure that they prioritize where they go and spend. We need a town council that is very independent.
Yeah. Well, and I want to keep things focused on what you can deliver or hope to deliver for residents, because I know you have lots of platforms to kind of do the bickering against candidates. But bring it back to some of the things, when you have a platform, a manifesto that you put forward to the people, not very often do people go back and kind of check what you did and didn't do. I'm hoping as a leader that that's an exercise that you have done. What are some of the things that you weren't able to deliver on to the town for whatever reasons?
Marlene, one of the major things that we did not accomplish was when it comes to paving the streets, right? But we would have never been able to pave the streets after we got in there and saw the mess that we saw. We had a bloated contract that the past administration did with Emir Hernandez to pave 6 streets for $1.3 million. Our hands were tied financially. We did not have any type of support from the UDP central government, which they had money because they were boasting about it. We all saw the bad spending they did all over the place on things that were not priority to our country. So infrastructure-wise, that is where we did not accomplish what we wanted to accomplish. Okay. We had our vision, our goal set, and when we got there, we saw all the mess that the past mayor had left for Corozal town. No, but I can tell you now that with a friendly central government and a central government that will support us, we building our own capacity and being more independent. This coming next 3 years, if given the chance, we will definitely pave the streets that we needed to pave for Corozal town.
And as we have this conversation, a lot of your criticism of the past administration stems from alleged financial mismanagement and lack of accountability. So how is it that, or what have you done to ensure that there's more accountability, especially when it comes to finances of the town council? And moving forward, especially as you envision, as you said, a more autonomous, independent town council, how can you ensure to the residents of Corozal that, whatever monies the town's council receives and spends, there's going to be accountability at the end of the day, and the voters are going to get, their bang for their buck if they do choose you?
Well, I can tell you that we have set proper financial management within our town council. We have spent very, very smart. You no longer see any bloated contracts. You no longer hear about any monies went missing under my administration. And more importantly, I can tell you that you can see all the hard work that we have invested for every single penny that we got through our revenues. Every single Corozalian can see that we did a lot of different work within Corozal. They can tell you that they saw myself on the ground, mixing cement, patching the holes, cleaning the drains, picking up the garbage. No, so all that speaks for itself. All that shows, and the Corozalians know exactly where their money went. And that is the reason why they will put us back again. That is the reason why they have faith on us. That is the reason why they believe in our vision, a People's United Party Town Council vision.
Now, what is Rigoberto, the experienced mayor, and his slate campaigning? What's your platform now? And tell us a bit about the team that you have with us as well, and why you feel that you collectively can deliver on that.
We're definitely looking at infrastructure, Marlene and Mr. Marvin. Infrastructure is very, very important for not only for us, but for every Corozaleño. We have to, the capacity growth also, again, to be a more independent government. And again, tourism also is very important for us. Those are the 3 platforms that we're looking at. We know that when tourism booms, there will be job opportunities, and the economy will also come to life. We know once the capacity has been built, we can be more independent, and we can do more infrastructure work. We can do more maintenance out there. We can deliver our basic services to our Corozaleño. And we know that once there is a central government that is willing to support us, definitely paving streets can happen.
Yeah. Okay. And the team?
When it comes to the team, Marlene and Mr. Gavin, we have a very energetic team, very responsible team, a team that is committed to work, a team that is very outgoing, very friendly, very approachable, and it's a team that has been put with many different backgrounds and dynamics, a team that will definitely deliver a better Corozal to our Corozaleños.
And, in terms of actually meeting with the residents and
Yes.
starting the campaign, what's that been like?
The campaign has been very interesting, a very interesting one, I can tell. I'll say because of the pandemic. People have received us with open arms. People have welcomed us in their homes. I can tell you that no one so far has treated us very bad or any different way. People are waiting for the 3rd of March, and I want to take the opportunity to introduce my team also via this segment. No?
Yeah.
Myself, Mayoral candidate Rigoberto. We have councillor candidate and returning councillor candidate, Mr. Gilberto Hill Clark. We have again another councillor who is also running again, Otoniel Otto Riverol. Then Mr. Rodolfo Narvaez, who is also a councillor. Then the 3 new faces that we have, the only female, which I am so happy because it balances the slate and it gives opportunity for women out there to have hope when it comes to politics and governing through local government. We have Ms. Marlene Tapia, we have Miguel Montalvo, and we have Mr. Balemar Pech, which makes the Corozal P.U.P Team 7 here in Corozal Town.
Okay. All right, so we're at our last final minutes, and so we want to hear from you. You can speak directly to the residents of Corozal Town who are watching, and let them know why you feel that you are the best candidate for the job.
Well, Marlene, I can remind the people that this was a town council who made sure we prioritize where we spend. And we were not like the past town council where we gave back actually. We gave back 10% of our stipend that we had towards investing in machinery for Corozal Town so it can be more independent. I can tell the people that they know that myself and my team are very hardworking. I can tell you that, with continuing a P.U.P Town Council, we will definitely put Corozaleños first and nothing else but the Corozaleños. It's time for us to give ourselves a chance, Marlene, to give Corozal a chance to grow a positive way. We now have a P.U.P central government who is willing to work together with us, who has committed in supporting us in every venture that we have, that the people will be affected positively through this combination of a P.U.P Town Council and a P.U.P central government. We will definitely go and do our infrastructure works. Corozal, this is the time that I can tell you that it's a birth of a new thriving Corozal Town, and we will give hope, and Corozaleños would get back its pride back again. We will keep Corozal strong, and we will continue to keep working hard like you see me every single weekend on the streets. This is the time, Corozal, for us Corozaleños, you Corozaleños, to get back what we deserve as Corozal Town. We will definitely get our fair share with a P.U.P Town Council and a P.U.P central government.
Okay. Well, Rigo, we appreciate, Mayor, we should say. Thank you for joining us this morning, and please stay safe on the campaign trail.
Thank you very much.
All right. And that's it. Today's first Meet the Candidate for Municipal Elections 2021. We are just about a month away, and today we kick-started our introductory interviews with the mayoral candidates. Of course, we'll let you know when we'll be featuring your municipality, so you can look out and participate in the conversation as well. And today we got to hear from both candidates in Corozal.
Yep. And of course, with that, we are going to be taking another short break. And when we come back, we're going to be shifting gears, and we're going to be talking all about the Youth Ambassadors program. So please stay tuned, and we'll be right back after the break.